Medieval Dynasty has dropped on, I think, the pre-gen consoles, and because of that, I am seeing a lot of questions from some new players about how the whole work production thing, how to get started, and how to make sure your villagers are actually producing stuff. So today's episode is going to be all about how to assign workers. And there are a few steps to the process, and I have to say, Medieval Dynasty does not exactly explain those very well. So I will do that for you. So first things first, you need to find the appropriate worker for the job that you want them to do, because not every single person is good at everything here that you see. And to do that, it's really easy. You just kind of go up to these are obviously my current workers in the wild. You will need to find available workers, and you do so by basically going to all of the other towns and looking for the people who have like the little white people person above their heads or by their names. Those are available workers that you can potentially bring on over to your village. And there are a few little excuse me, a few little like little things, little qualifications, that's the word, that you need to meet before you can even invite them. For one, you need to have enough dynasty reputation, and you might not have enough like really early in the game. To get some reputation, just like complete some quests for the different villagers throughout the villages. That'll help you get some complete, like the main quest, the chapter quest, that will also get you some dynasty reputation. And once you have enough reputation, then you can invite people to your town. Another thing is to just double check your population and your workers and your building limits. If you don't have enough, if your limit's too low and you can't build any more houses, your villagers, you can still invite them, but they might leave you because you don't have a house for them. So just double check that your limit's okay, and then you should be pretty good from there as long as you have enough reputation to, have them come on over, because if they don't know anything about you, they don't really want to join your village. But basically, once you find the person, you have everything that you need all set. You just talk to them. Oh.
How are you?
As I run into him, and we're gonna get right up into his face here. And what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna talk to. You're gonna have a little bit of small talk here, and right here it'll say, "Can you tell me something about your skills?" And he'll say, "I fancy this." So this basically tells me that he is good at extraction, so I can put him on any kind of work
Goodbye.
that does extraction, and I will get out of his face now. And you can kind of see when you get some of the buildings unlocked, the different kind of um, like I suppose it's like you can kind of see here. It's so tiny, but there's like different little icons that basically kind of indicate uh, what they are good at and what they're doing and whatnot. So like here's like for example, like just for like their skills. This here is production. I believe this is, what is that? I'm so blind. I think that's survival, I believe. This is diplomacy. We have farming here. We got hunting and then extraction. I'm pretty sure that is how it all is. So he said extraction, so that's like this little icon right here. And you can kind of see like, obviously my guys have been with me for a while, so their levels are a little bit higher. But like we'll just say we invited this person just randomly here, okay? And they're like, I'm really good at extraction. So they'll come in with like maybe like a 2 here, or if you're really lucky, they might have a 3 here, which would be amazing. But in most cases, it's going to be like a 1 or a 2, usually a 2, which basically kind of gives them a boost in that skill already. And then when you assign them to a job that they like, which for that guy was doing hard work, extracting stuff, he'll level up a little bit more, which you can kind of like, for example, see here as my farmer. She has 3 in farming right here, and basically that just means that they're going to produce more than somebody who does not like to farm or to extract, for example. So anyway, so basically find out what they like and then assign them to a job that is appropriate for their skill level. And again, it's really easy to find out what that is because thankfully all the little production things are kind of like in their own category. So like all the extraction buildings, for example, are going to be under the extraction. So for that guy would be like, okay, I'm going to put you in the excavation shed. And to do that, basically, Normally this would be empty. We'll just quick fire him real fast here. Let me just quick go back. We're going to remove him very briefly. Sorry, buddy. So you would see like this has like an empty slot here. So after recruiting him to your village, being like, hey, come in, move in with me, you're going to get him working like as fast as possible. So you're going to go to the building that you want him to work in, double click it, or if you're using a controller, I'm not sure what the button press is. You'll have to excuse me for that, but it's probably like the general action input, interact button, I would imagine. So you just click that, it brings up this little menu here, and then you're going to click at the empty slot, find him in your list, wherever he is, there he is, and then just click him and he will be assigned there. Now this is not the end of the story. This is basically just you being like, this is where I want you to work. He's not going to produce, none of these people are going to produce anything if you don't then tell them what you want them to do. And to do that, you are going to need to go to this little icon right here up at the top. Kind of circling with my mouse a little bit. Click that, and that will bring you to the production line menu. And this is where you actually tell them what you want them to do. So for me, I just have them collecting a bunch of stone for me because I'd like to have a little bit of excess for when I'm ready to, build some more houses, basically. So they're doing that for me right now. And you can change how much you want them to work. So like, let's say you want to do like half and half, so you'd bring that down to 50 and bring whatever else you want back up to 50. I'm just having them go ham on this myself. So it's 100% in stone right now. And that will tell them what to do. So like you really do that for like everything. Like this guy, for example, he's just going ham on this for me. I do have 2 woodsheds just because one is not enough for my current needs. So I have like this one, just going for logs and a little bit of, mostly logs and firewood, a little bit of sticks. And then this guy, or this lady rather, she's just making more logs, which are mostly just used to make these planks. So that's kind of like how I have it. Don't need to copy at all. Just, do what you do. But that is basically how you tell them to, produce the stuff that you want to produce and how much of that. And just to further kind of go in here, this 34 here, this means that he is going to be getting 34.56 each day. So, depending on how many days you have in your season, multiply that by that, and that is how much you can expect to have in a season. So once you have them assigned to the building that you want them to work in, and you have the actual production line selected, and you've put the intensity where you want it, they're not going to do work, at least not all of them will do work unless they have the proper tools. Now this guy, he doesn't require tools if he's just out there collecting stuff, but for example, back to our excavation shed, you can see that they need a pickaxe or a shovel, depending on what it is that I'm having them do. Since it's stone, they need a pickaxe. And you can see right here that it is 2 durability per stone. And since they're going, 68 per day, that's like whatever 68 times 2 is. That's a lot. 3 something or rather, or 2 something. No, 3 something. Anyway, they're going to be eating through their pickaxes pretty quickly, especially because I just have them on stone pickaxes right now. Bare bones there. So you need to make sure that they have the actual tool that they need to do the job. Otherwise, again, they can't do it. Now, just a reminder, not everyone needs tools. Like, for example, my cook doesn't need tools. They just need the ingredients. Same with, like, my little animal herders. They really don't need any tools. Some of them do. The sheep and the cows and goats, they'll need, like, milk buckets and shears. But, like, my poor person assigned to pigs, she's just literally scooping up poops. She doesn't need anything but like animal feed to feed to them. That's it. Like that's like her quote unquote tool, I suppose. So just kind of double check your management to see if it requires a tool, and if it does, all you need to do is just make it, and you can either put it in the resource storage because they all have access to this, including tools, so they can just take it from there when they need it. Or if you are a little bit more like me and you like to like micromanage, you can also put it directly inside of their little like their little chests inside their production things. So for example, like I'd put this wouldn't work because it's the barn, but like for example, if I had like a smithy person, I think they need a hammer, so like I'd put their hammer in here, for example. Or if we go to my excavation shed, which people are actually working in, They should maybe have pickaxes in here. Okay, yes, they do. So you can see I just put the pickaxe in there. You don't need to do that. That's just what I like to do, just because that's just I like to be organized like that, I guess. I don't know. You can just put it in the resource storage, and that's fine. They'll do what they need to do. So after that, your villagers should be producing by that point, but there is kind of like a big factor that determines how much they produce, and that is happiness. And I'll go into mood in another video a little bit more in detail, but basically, the happier that your villagers are, the more they're going to produce in a given season. And there are a few like seasonal effects or events that can happen that might impact their mood, but there are a few things that you can do too that basically influences that too. And the main way to do that, to make your villagers happy, is to make sure that they end up married. And to do that, obviously, just put a man and a woman in a house together. And as long as the age gap isn't too wide between them, they will eventually get married. That makes them happy. And then another thing that makes them happy is having 2 kids. And again, as long as there's nobody else like in the house with them, which I don't think you can do that anyway, they will eventually have a child, and once they have 2 kids, they'll be happy about that too. And then the last kind of thing is like just their houses in general. First of all, if they don't have a house, they are not going to be happy. They will leave your village after a certain amount of time. So like build their house as soon as you can. Like I usually build my houses before I invite the villagers, just because I don't want them to leave at all. I don't want they need to stay with me. So I usually just build houses and then I invite the workers over. So just make sure they have a house. And the bigger the house is, the happier they tend to be, because, more space and all that. They also like being warm in the winter, which is why the insulation is nice. I kind of have that here. You can kind of see. I managed to insulate all my houses, which is amazing, because that takes a little while for me usually. So they're all nice and cozy at night and during the winter, so they like that. And then decorations as well is another thing that kind of just boosts their mood a little bit and helps them produce. I need to fix some of these buildings, goodness. But yeah, but that's about it for mood. And again, I'll be going in a little bit more detail into that in another video. But following those steps should get your villagers producing for you. And if they're not, throw me a comment, because it's a little bit weird. But again, just follow the steps, which is, recruit your worker, make sure you know what their skill is, put them in a production building that is appropriate for their skills. When it comes to the production building, make sure you go into the production lines and actually increase whatever it is that you want them to build or make for you. And then make sure they have a tool, and that's about it. So hopefully you found that helpful. And again, if you do have any other like problems or weird things, just throw me a comment and I'll do my best to see if I can't figure out what's going on. But until next time, thanks so much for watching, guys. Keep surviving and keep thriving.